The Singapore Business Federation is rolling out a framework to set out skills needed for trade operations and compliance. It comes as firms here are reshaping strategies and bracing for an uncertain economy ahead. Metteo with more.
This life sciences company develops stem cells that can be used in skincare, supplements, food and even cell therapy. Since the US Liberation Day tariffs came into effect, the firm has had to shift its production and supply chains across its 10 factories worldwide to minimize impact.
We have moved more production of the same types of products to be made in USA, but at the same note, then we also have increased the production of our USA factory for China itself. So then China reciprocally is taxing products made from our USA factory, but then we just increase domestic production within China for China.
For some firms like this electrical parts distributor, tariffs have actually been a boon. Sales jumped by as much as 7% as customers brought forward orders in anticipation of price hikes. About 30% of its business is exposed to the US duties.
So Singapore have actually absorbed part of the tariff-related increase instead of fully passing on to our customers. So this approach has actually helped us to maintain our customers' relationship, but has also overall resulted in our margin compression. So this resulted in approximately around overall increase of the operating costs by approximately 1 to 1.5%.
In response to these challenges, the Singapore Business Federation wants to guide companies to better deal with these uncertainties. It has already launched a Gen AI tool that simplifies trade rules and gives guidance on trade agreements. Now, SBF is assembling a team of trade advisors to provide direct support.
We are concerned about the competencies of the workforce that are working in this trade compliance, trade operations, trade finance. So we are putting in place a competency framework that will spell out the skills that's needed to fulfill this, and then we'll work with training institutions to run these courses with a view that eventually we will accredit and certify these professionals.
He adds that another focus area is helping firms diversify into new markets with more business missions planned for 2026.
And that focus comes at a crucial time. After a better-than-expected 4-year GDP growth of around 4% in 2025, one analyst warns of a potential slowdown in global economy ahead. Metteo again with more.
Singapore's GDP growth in 2025 may have been less affected by tariffs than initially expected. Jeff Ng, Director and Head of Asia Macro Strategy at SMBC Asia Pacific, tells me that there were other factors at play.
I think Singapore has been producing the right product mix. For example, the technological exports, the pharmaceuticals that the world continues to demand a lot for.
But as the White House moves towards sectoral tariffs in these sectors, Singapore isn't immune.
If they continue to change tariff rates, then businesses could be even more reluctant to invest, or some negative news or some increased tariff on Singapore may also cause some other firms to look into other locations. So policy risk, for example, is one that could cause.
It's something that could also hit Singapore's largest trading partners.
The US could still see a bit of a slowdown from current levels because of the slowdown which has temporarily affected the job sector in the US. Then at the same time, China's growth is still not expected to be too robust. So without these two big markets roaring, that is continuing to cause some headwinds on the Singapore economy.
If that happens, Mr. Ng expects the central bank to shift its exchange rate policy to ensure exports remain competitive, plus more measures for local firms.
I think authorities will continue to target at, let's say, high-growth industries, helping local companies to regionalize or internationalize, and also I think try to find some diversification to reduce some of the concentration risk from exporting to some of the major markets.
So far, the Singapore government has formed a task force to help businesses and workers deal with the impact of the tariffs, protect jobs and adapt to a more uncertain global trade environment. The task force, chaired by Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong, has been engaging business leaders, workers and graduates. In the long run, it is also hoping to help Singapore businesses and its people stay competitive globally.